Hello. And Stephen, it's just you here. Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you. Nice to see you. So, this might be a good moment to test doing a background. I've never used a background. Should I give it a whirl? I was
Yeah.
going to see what it looked like well, I'll show you.
So click Zoom Workplace, then Settings
Oh,
with
okay.
Workplace, then Settings. And there's going
Okay.
to be a pop-up, and then you go to Background and Effects.
Oh, background effects. Not that you've ever instructed anybody this way before. All right. So yeah, I just have I want to use something that I have. That's just an image. How do we have this?
Mhm.
Um, don't have a green screen. Virtual background. How do I just choose?
Just click one.
Oh, I can upload from my.
Or you can do that too.
Yeah. Ah, there we go. I just wondered if. Let's see what this looks
Lovely.
like. I feel like disembodied. It feels weird. And it's backwards.
No, it shows
It's
up
not
correct.
backwards?
Oh, no, no. It's
Oh, it
correct.
isn't. Let me see. I'm just.
Oh, Leslie's here, by the way. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. We're just playing around. It's not backwards. It is to me.
No,
Lord.
it's not backwards. I read it
Really?
correctly.
All right. I'm going to do this today just for kicks. What do you think?
Leslie likes it.
All
Um,
right. Hey, Leslie, thanks for joining the party. It's not backwards for you. Why would it be backwards for me?
I don't know. 1 second. My cat keeps screaming like a maniac. Come here, Siggy.
So, Leslie, I have hail on my deck right now. Just saying.
I hope you can hear her screaming in the background, but she's been going crazy all day.
Hmm.
Um, the maniac. I love how her face keeps like disappearing.
Uh, I was just telling Leslie I have hail on my deck again today, and she saw it on her camera.
Oh,
Leslie, if there's anything you need done over at your place, if I anything like that, I'd be happy to give it a shot if it's something I can do. So, welcome to our weekly online intention setting clinic here in Spiritual Workout World. Hey, Gina. Uh, this is our weekly opportunity to focus entirely on what I believe is a critical, if not the most critical component of our practice, kitty cat, um, based on, well, you tell me of these ideas, which ones are we talking about? I'm just playing around with it, Gina. You tell me what you think. I don't, I know I see people doing it all the time. Sam does it all the time, but that like disembodied head always weirds me out. Plus, I don't have hair, so anyway. Um, so yeah, this one. Oh my goodness. So if I hold this
yeah.
up now, oh, I can't do this background. This is my life. It's
You can't do
holding
it.
me, holding these.
Yeah, that's what happens to my cat. I'm like headless cat.
Now it's like, okay, really guess which concept card I'm holding up because nobody can see it. It's pretty funny. All right, changing my background. Do I have to go back to the same place?
Yep.
Okay. Sam, why don't you entertain the troops while I do this?
Well, just go with my spiel. Y'all know me. I am Sam. Sam, I am Green Eggs and Ham. Um, I am the co-host and technical support for Spiritual Workout. And yeah, so there's three ways to interact. And I'm sure at this point you guys all have this memorized. But we have the chat, which we love when you guys say hi. That way we can know who's here. There's also the Q&A for you to ask any questions that you don't want to come up for. And finally, our favorite way of interacting is when you raise your hand. That signals to us that you'd want to come up. You want to have the full spiritual workout experience. Set your intentions or just turn your desires into shiny, clear intentions.
Spiritual workout style.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where do I turn this thing? Okay, virtual backgrounds. Going to yes. Oh, for the love of God. How do I just turn it off? I just want to turn it off. There we go.
You got it?
Back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you. So yeah, we're off to a little slightly unusual start here. Uh, noticing also that um, you know, there seem to be fewer of us in the last week or so. Also, it's been an interesting time, cosmically, energetically. We talk about this from time to time. I personally am not somebody who's hypersensitive to the whims of what's going on in the universe. I figure there's always something. Oftentimes, not often, but frequently enough, I have no idea that, oh my God, there's an eclipse or there's a something or there's a whatever. And then I'll find out a week later that things I was experiencing during some time like that were related to that whole thing without my having known it. That's just me. Anyway, all to say that last week with the solstice, week and a half, 2 weeks ago, for whatever reason, there are no accidents and things go the way they're supposed to go. Um, all of a sudden, I was just seeing a lot of information about, oh my God, this solstice is not like your mother's solstice. And there's a lot of stuff going on, Sam, you might know. And anyway, and I've seen a lot of evidence of it in my own life and perhaps even here with a lot of new blast off energy, a lot of let go energy, a lot of um, energies colliding and combining and shifting and changing, and some people being super energized, some people being really taken out and tired and fatigued. And I don't know if that's affecting anybody here, but I can't help but notice in the last week or two, we've been even, quieter than usual here. Anything you have to say about that, Sam?
I mean, that makes sense. I didn't think I haven't actually kept up with the solstice. Believe it or not. I don't keep up with like most astrological events. It's just like Mercury retrograde
Yeah,
and
right,
no
exactly.
eclipses. Um, but that's really interesting. Yeah, you're right. It has been a little quiet.
That's been. Anyway, we're here to talk about intentions. So I'm just going to remind everybody, Leslie and Sam and Gina, uh, this is, it's critical to have what I often refer to or always refer to as an intention setting practice within our spiritual workout practice, right? I mean, spiritual workout is a practice that begins from the place where we see ourselves as spiritual beings having human experiences, and that's the starting point. And then we say that these 15 concepts that we work with are tools to help us to stay aligned with that part of us, the being part of the human beings we are.
Mm,
And that is our general practice, and so we come to spiritual workout and we talk about issues and challenges and that we're having, and we just look at the 15 concepts that we work with and we say, are any of these, do any of these seem to apply? And oftentimes it's very obvious that one or two definitely do. Other times uh, it's less obvious. If there were other facilitators, they might have different perspectives than the ones that I have. Hey, Christy, Anna, and that's all well and good. And then within that, it doesn't take too long. It doesn't take a person too long hanging out in spiritual workout world, I think, before they start hearing, wow, he just keeps talking about intentions, intentions, intentions all the time. He keeps reminding us that that's important because of how the law of attraction is on. And so intention setting is its own practice within this practice. We know that the first part of it is getting it from either I have no idea about what I want, or I have some idea and I don't really quite know how to articulate it. So we go from wherever we are when we start to a shiny, clear intention written down on one of our worksheets or whatever you use, and shiny and clear, not a syllable out of whack, where the person reads it and says, yes, ideal world, nobody can say no, money's no object. Yes, I want all of this. This lights me up. This excites me. That's phase one. Phase two is, okay, how do I how do I truly become the magnet for the words that I've written out here? How do I get to where these words don't feel so foreign or even like I'm lying? So that is really where we move into uh, a practice of cultivation of the seeds that we have planted that we call intentions. That's really it. So is there, and this is all under the heading of engaging the law of attraction in a conscious manner. It's always on. We're always getting something. So we know that even on the writing side of things, there are a few mechanics to keep in mind. So we come to this clinic to make sure that we've kind of followed the rules. There aren't too many, but there are a few. And then in terms of the cultivation part of our practice, that's what I love about coming together with multitudes of us, or at least handfuls of us, to share our experiences, because there is no one way to engage the law of attraction in a conscious manner. I mean, I know there are people all over the world making a living helping people to do this and have their various ways. We have our way. None of it, I don't think, can be proprietary. We're all just doing our level best to get to that place where we can think and talk about our intentions in ways that excite us, in ways that uh, we demonstrate that we are in alignment with them. And again, there's no one way to do that. So we copy from each other, which I love to see happen. Sometimes we just copy a full-on intention, like, wow, Sam was just talking about something he's wanting to be, do, or have, and I never thought about that for myself, and now I'm just going to intend for that myself. That's one way that we copy from each other. And certainly when we're talking and somebody talks about something they're doing in their intention setting practice uh, to further embody their own intention, and somebody else says, wow, I never thought about that, I'm copying that. So we come together and do this work together for all kinds of reasons. And I think on What Do You Want Wednesdays, it's even more pronounced that we, uh, tend to copy from each other. So hi to Alta and Christiana and Gina and Jill and Leslie, veterans all. What would you guys like to talk about today? Colds and having some coffee. Cheers.
cheers.
Christiana says, I have exciting news. So I think
Bring you up.
I have to come up. hear what that is.
Christy, welcome back.
There
I
she is.
lived,
Hi.
resurrected from,
Resurrected. Oh, compared to yesterday, you mean?
yes,
Look at that.
I did not die,
Eek.
though I felt like I was gonna.
But you didn't, and you're smiling brightly.
Yep. Um, so I think you may have read the second book I wrote, or we're gonna read it. I don't know if you remember. This book I wrote
Yes.
last January. It was finished, so January 2024. And
Was
this one,
this the helping people book?
yes, like the
Yep.
healing, all
Yes.
all my trauma that I thought I was done with. And okay, so I wrote the book. Did you read it or not? I can't remember. I know we
I
were talking.
did. I'm
Okay.
remembering it for sure. It was a PDF and just thought,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So
Scared me for a moment there.
I wrote the book, right? And that was a very difficult, painful experience because I had to like relive
Yes.
a lot of that stuff.
Yes.
And then it was done. I got it edited. And then I just was like, cold. Spirit, whoever talks to me was like, just just wait. And I was like, okay, why did we go through all this effort? Why did I write all of this? Why did I why did I dredge all this stuff up? And then you're like, you just wait. And this time though, like you say, I don't question. I was just like, sure, okay, fine. I don't even care because with the children's book, it was like I now sort of know like what goes into getting it actually physically published and even cover art and all that, and I
Mhm.
wasn't really feeling like inspired to spend the money on that or the time. So when Spirit was like, just hold on, I was like, okay. And then month after month after month is going by, and I'm still like, did you forget that we wrote this book? And no, they're just like, just not now. I just get this like, just wait, just wait. Cool. So maybe like 2 weeks ago, I got this nudge because I have a friend who started a new TikTok channel and she's talking all about manifestation and stuff. And I was like, I got this download nudge, whatever you want to call it, that I should create one too. This is in the realm of something that I would like to do, and it's called Expansion School. And I was like, cool, what's it about? What are we doing with this TikTok channel? And they're like, don't worry about it. I was like, what? And I was like, just go see if the handle is being used. All right. So I acquire the handle, Expansion School. And then I'm like, is there any more information to this? No, not right now. Right. And then like 2, 3 days ago, it was like, now's the time. Take your book, and instead of publishing your book, you're going to put everything that was in your book on the TikTok channel because you would have had to do it anyways. You would have had to do it. You would have had to uh, promote yourself. You would have had to, share and create content anyway. So rather than like spending money on doing that, just put it out there and just put it out there for free. And don't worry about whether or not you're going to make money for it. Like, this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to help people. You want to talk about spirituality. You want to talk about manifesting. You want to talk about all this stuff all the time. So, like, you have this whole book with all these, uh, what were they, like activities or whatever, and then just the other stuff, like everything that you've been learning over the last 5 or 6 years. And it was like, now. So I started the TikTok channel, and I've been like, whether you call it manic or flow state, it's just very excited. I'm not 100%
What's the
sure.
difference?
I don't know because I'm like, well, what is the difference between being manic, like bipolar, true, like mania, or like the level of energy that's like the
Well,
almost.
yeah, there's definitely a difference. I mean, if you have that condition or not, but being in the manic phase and being in the high flow phase, I think are similar. How anybody gets
How it
there, what they
feels.
do afterwards, that's a whole different thing. Anyway, I'm beyond my scope. I've said too much. Go ahead.
Well, it feels or felt a little manic because I was like the high vibrational energy, but the ideas are just coming like, oh, you do a post about this and this. Like I couldn't sleep, like literally can't sleep at night. I'm like, I'll talk about this. And I was like, okay, so this is good because Steven says when you're excited about something, like that's the energy. And it's like, I am clearly excited. But then
Yes.
what I'm learning and what I like about TikTok is like I can do it so much more authentically. You know, like the posts aren't curated. I could literally just be driving. I posted something the other day and I was, I think, in a bathrobe or whatever. Like I just sitting here like state of what do you call it? Create stream of consciousness, you know, but like
Mhm.
not like I had an idea and then it was just stream of consciousness, but I didn't have any makeup. I didn't do my hair. It was just like, okay, good morning, y'all. And so it's just very like this is authentic. And then what I sent you last night, I was like, that's what I'm going through right now. So that's what I posted. And I'm just really excited about it. I have no idea where it's going. I'm doing my scripting. I'm like, my TikTok is blowing up. I don't know what that's going to turn into. And it doesn't really matter to me as much as it feels like a place where I get to channel all of my creative energy that I use in like my improv stuff. So like there's silliness, then there's my spirituality, then there's the actual like trauma work. And it's like, oh, this is a place where I can put it all and it makes sense to who it makes sense to because they're,
Ex-
connect with it with those hashtags
yeah.
instead of when I was posting stuff like that on my own personal social media. And I was like, I don't know, people think I'm weird. But this was like, if it helps anybody and if it evolves into something better, cool. But like right now, it just feels like, oh, this is like the outlet where I get to put all of everything I've done since we started spiritual workout for me, 2019, in like one place. And it's very exciting for me.
Very exciting. So that right there, I mean, what you're sharing right now, to me, is exactly what we're taught to do. Follow the excitement, let go of any ideas of where it's even going, because we always have ideas. Oh my God, here's a book idea, so I guess it's going to be a book and it's going to get published, and well, maybe, maybe not, right? So when we back off from any of that, which is what we are admonished to do by all of our spirituality teachers, non-physical ones in particular, what Christie's describing is exactly that process. Just follow the excitement, do what feels right. This thing was sitting for a while and then it was like, boom, do it now. And okay, there it is. And the excitement's there. So the idea is to not question it. The idea is to continue to follow it. And most importantly, let go without any thoughts or ideas about where it's going to go, what it's all about, and da 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 da. I mean, those questions are interesting, and we're always going to ask them, but the idea is to not get bogged down by that stuff.
Right.
You guys know that working with artists and entrepreneurs is one of my, you know, bailiwicks, if you will. And it's exactly that. It's just always encouraging people to do what lights them up, follow that spark and see where it takes you. With Leslie, Leslie, you've had some sparks for this new career idea, right? Jill is sitting where she is today because of sparks that she followed and excitement that she followed. And that's what we're all doing with all of our intentions all the time. And Christy is being shown an example of truly letting go of how or when any of it all happens. Why am I so excited about this today? And then it's just sitting there, nothing's going on, and da 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 da. And that experience, I've had it a million times. You've had it, Christy. A lot of people I work with have had it too. And that's training us, it's teaching us and showing us to just do exactly that. Follow the excitement, let go of what it has to be and where it has to go, and all of those things.
One of the other things that I'm scripting is like, I say I'm scripting, that means I write every day, right? This is what I'm saying this is going to happen in my life.
Mhm.
So I keep writing like, I'm like meeting
And
more and more light workers and spiritually minded and like 5D friends. And I'm like, well, you know what? Who's going to follow this content? Because those are like the hashtags is unity consciousness, 5D awakening. So I'm like, I am now like meeting people and chatting with them, not like so much. It's only been a couple days, but I'm just like, oh, maybe this is one of those ways of like new people that are interested in this stuff coming into my life also. So it's not just so much about like, oh, I'm sharing this content and maybe like I'll get some type of business transaction out of it. Right now it's just like it's a place where I get to share the stuff that I've done for my desire to help as a light worker, but also a place where I get to maybe meet other people so that I don't feel like I'm crazy and the only one who's going through all this stuff. And it's already happening. Like I posted this video a couple of days ago where it said like my spiritual awakening has like two moods. And the one is like we're so excited, I'm running down this pier and it's like we're alive, yay. And then the other is a sound where it's like I'm just going through it. It's just been a struggle. Like those are the only either this or that. And the guy was like, I'm in it right now. I'm in one of the low places, but we know that then that means an up place is coming just around the corner. And it's like, yes, somebody finally gets what it's like to be on this roller coaster of just, it's either life is the most amazing thing ever, or it is the
mhm,
worst. And there's no in between.
right, right.
Cosmic hashtags. And so
Hashtag that's in your cosmic hashtags.
that's my exciting news for you.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That is very exciting, and what a difference a day makes, huh?
Well, this happened before yesterday, and like if yesterday wasn't tapping, I could have told you yesterday. But yesterday was apparently about um trauma. So
Yeah, well, Trauma
which
Tuesday.
Trauma Tuesday.
Let's not plant that seed, but we're just kidding around here.
And I just thank you again because this particular trauma I'm processing, which I'm also actually making my TikTok about it right now, is uh it it was sort of like everything that I've done in the last 6 months that I thought was really big was like, oh no, this is just the warm up. This is just the warm up. It was sort of like, okay, I'm here, I'm learning how to box, and like, oh, this is hard and ouch, and I like I know how to box. I know all the moves. And then they're like, all right, let's go, Mike Tyson, come here. And it's like, wait, no, I am not ready for that. That is my first opponent. But that's what it feels like. But I was thinking a lot that like I don't think I would be able to start here, so that all this stuff that I had to uncover in the last 6 months was like to prepare me for this one. I'll send you that video too once it's done so you can see what it's much more interesting when there's a vocal track behind it.
Fair enough. And
So
feel free to post it,
in
in
the
our
forum,
fledgling forums.
I
Yeah.
will attempt to do that. I don't know, does it support videos?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it does. For some reason, and I don't know, Sam, maybe we can check. I keep forgetting to, like putting an image. Sometimes they're just huge,
Yes.
way bigger than I would normally choose
Right, like
to.
the whole page.
Exactly. Um, you can change the size of an image pretty easily. I've since seen,
Okay.
like on all of our little ones for each drop-in and clinic, where it's just the, here's the class. It can be this size, or this size. Video, I'm not so sure. I did a book cover image and I wasn't sure I could change the size of that one. But we're here to play around with it. So let us know what you learn and discover. Uh, and yeah, I would appreciate that if you're
Uh,
so
and then
inclined.
the last thing is a question which you're gonna say yes to, even if you don't. But I am not at the present moment interested in like coaching or whatever. So I think I can just direct people to like the website.
Please,
But I
yes.
don't know if you would be like interested at this moment of like, or we can talk offline of like putting this web's like spiritual workout in like my bio. Not that like I'm claiming it, but more like if you're interested in working with my coach, go to spiritual workout because
I
I
would love
love
that.
it.
And I don't know if TikTok does live things, like they do.
It does, but you would have to make a TikTok.
I know. Well, we can talk. I'm open to all of it for sure.
I'm gonna get you to make a TikTok is where we're getting because I would
All
like
right.
to do lives and I'd like to have you and other people as guests, but you have to have a certain number of followers before you can actually get the live feature. So I'm
Yeah,
working on building my followers. But in the meantime, as I build the followers, if people are like, I'm interested in more of this, like, do you do coaching or whatever? I'm like, no, I don't yet, but you can work with my coach. Go over here.
I would love that. And
Okay.
I'm not I follow the energy where it is. I'm a one-man band. I'm not a social media person by nature.
Right.
By business, it obviously makes sense, but I haven't had great experiences and I just don't have the time. But if there's somebody out there on a particular platform already engaging, whatever, seeing stuff and being able to, I would love that. I really would. So I'm happy to talk about any of that
Okay. Well, we can talk
at
more
any time.
later.
Sure.
But that's also part of my goal is eventually I think I'd like to work with some people just one-on-one, but in the meantime being like, well, hey, you can work here with my person.
Thank you.
So,
And we just will hopefully not call me a coach, but we'll talk about
well,
that
whatever
later.
you want to be called, facilitator. That's what you want to
Yeah.
be called. That's right.
And then it's a
That one
voice,
alone for
a
right
spiritual workout. Yeah.
now.
Anyway,
Okay.
everybody calls me a coach and it is what it is, but not my favorite. I accept it as a colloquialism, uh, but I have a whole piece that I wrote. I don't even know where it is. And I am not a coach. It's somewhere. I'll resurrect it.
Well, we'll talk more about it then.
Fair enough. And I appreciate it very, very much. And it's great to see you. And thank you for sharing all this.
And I'll try to put this once it's done in the whenever we get the, do you
Beautiful.
want to put
Yeah.
it in today's or yesterday's since this is I'll put it in yesterday's since technically about
You
trauma.
decide. There's
Okay.
nobody editing you in that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh,
That was it. That was my news.
all right. Well, thank you for that. Leslie says that's interesting. You don't like the term. Yeah, well, and Gina says I refer to you as my spiritual dude. That I like.
Dude.
The coach, yeah, the coach thing. Like I say, I accept that. Thank you again, Christiana.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, Sam.
Wait, stay for a moment. Stephen, this idea of TikTok
yes,
would probably actually go really well for you.
Don't
And,
worry, I'm
and
gonna get him to get a TikTok. It's coming.
yeah, and
Part of the intention.
it like I mean it genuinely, like there was a period of time where TikTok was a little bit iffy because of all the shutdown stuff, but I don't
yeah.
think that's like an issue anymore. Really, and
Might
it's
be.
just it's
It
not
might
really.
be. They said it still might be shut down, but I'm just ignoring that for
I
right now.
just I just don't think it like they've already been trying, and like there's too many people on its side who like want it to keep, like too many people who just want to keep it around. Um that benefit from it. Even Trump benefits from it. So
Yeah.
um but my thing is just like for Steven, it would really like if he just maybe learned very simple structure and just started like Steven, you just started recording yourself talking like every time you had like a random thought about anything in particular and just started like building that, like there would be so many people who could just find you organically and immediately like resonate with what you're saying. Like it would be such a way to like get new eyes through this that doesn't require you to go out in person, do like all this outreach, just like expressing something, putting it out there, and then people will find you.
We're getting
Um,
there, Sam. This
like
is the only problem, and this is what I learn and what I'm learning now, right? There's a guy who's the tapping guy. I think his handle is actually like the tapping dude or something. And like he just taps, he taps weirdly, by the way. It looks weird when he taps. I don't know what, but like I think you have to have 1,000 followers before they'll let you go live. So part of my plan is to get the 1,000 followers, then I can go live. And I think then Steven can just create an account and then he can start joining the live. I don't know if he also has to have 1,000, but we'll figure that out. And then that way he doesn't have to do as much as the content creation, like posting that that I do. And he can just kind of like get on to the like now I just do the lives where he can just do what you're talking about, like just talking sort of podcast style rather than having to do like daily post content creation, just because I know Steven does not like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that won't happen if I have to create that stuff. But the other
Exactly.
piece, I
But
mean, I've done it on Instagram over the years. I've done it on Twitter. I've done it on, I'm happy to do it. It's easy to do. One question, uh, as we're having a marketing discussion now, um, on TikTok, can the account be spiritual workout or does it have to be Stephen Morrison?
it could be whatever you want it to be. Mine is expansion school.
Okay, yeah, mine.
Oh,
Well, then we would just do spiritual
yeah.
workout.
Like, let me see, because there was my ex's mom, she literally just created an account and she just decided that she wanted to start reading Bible passages and highlighting them. And there was like no really like she wasn't really approaching it from a stance of like content creation. She would just cracked open her Bible, started highlighting stuff, like reading it out loud. And then people just started finding her and connecting with her. And there wasn't this whole like structure of like posting organized reels with this like algorithm with this focus on any kind of like
Posting X amount of times a day and all
posting
that
icing
stuff.
up. It was
Yeah.
just unregimented. But she still like was able to connect with people. And there's something to that. There's something to that. Like you, um, I don't let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it because Stephen, I know content creation isn't really your thing, but what about video creation and just
Video
spontaneous?
creation is easy. I can do it all day long.
Mm,
It's very easy, for me to just do here, send it wherever it goes. That's super easy. I love doing that. Um,
exactly.
creating the kinds of things with memes, with, headlines and this and that.
No,
No effing
not
way.
that stuff. That I
No,
mean,
you don't have
I
to
just
do
don't have
that.
it in me. There's just, yeah.
There's a
and that's not what I mean at
literally
all. What I mean really is like video creation, post it, smack it on the thing and go and not have to worry about editing and like minute details.
Mhm.
Literally like how like Christy was saying, like stream of consciousness, like in the car or out here, like having a random thought. Hey world,
is
this is what I'm
very
going through.
organic. It's not like Instagram that was like very
Exactly.
curated and like
Yeah,
artsy. Like you literally see people
that's why it
walking
never,
their dogs and talking
yeah.
about whatever, and that's why I really like it. But I
Mm,
also enjoy myself the video. That's just part of who I am.
mm,
So like I will do that happily. But yes, you could. There is literally people who will they're like reading or drawing. They can go live
mm.
and you'll just sit there. I'm like, who's watching them just draw? But people are.
I
People
watch
are.
them just draw. I watch people
There's
just draw.
something for everyone. I mean,
And
there's, yeah.
yeah, so Stephen, it doesn't have to be if you were to create a TikTok, it wouldn't have to be regimented content creation.
I'm not concerned about that part.
It could just be post and go videos.
Yeah, I'm clear on that.
Mm,
Uh, we'll see. I mean, look, I'm not against. I, so what I script in my intention in this regard, spiritual workout has connected with its global audiences, and it is glorious. So there's no
mm,
accident we're having this conversation.
Well, in
mm,
3 days, I have 35 followers. So it's just a matter of time before I have the required a
The
thousand
requisite.
to go live. And then we can start actually having those lives where people just are watching us do tap on something or just talk about intentions or whatever.
Yeah.
And I find those people will join that. Just, I watched animals getting born, which was weird, but like it was there. So.
Right. Right. Cool. Well, I appreciate it. I'm open to all of it. If it seems like I'm not, that's
yeah.
the wrong
It
message.
doesn't matter because I'm writing it like Steven's gonna join my TikTok.
Great. Great. Great.
Oh,
Great. 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 Great.
but you see, like my ex's mom, like she's literally just like posting Bible verses and She just does it consistently. She doesn't really tag much. She probably uses the same ones over and over and over again. Um, but she has like 800 followers, and those are like 800 brand new eyes.
Does
Yeah.
she read them or is she literally just highlighting it and that's it? Like, she
She's
reading them
like
out loud?
reading them. I,
Like,
I don't know if I can show you this screen, but she's literally like, I'm trying to get it. She's literally reading them out loud in Spanish and highlighting them. And that's
people
it.
will watch anything
I
like that
know.
on TikTok.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm very
Bring
excited.
it on. Let's do it.
Yay.
I'm definitely not going to do it today on my own, but I will do
Mhm.
it with assistance and guidance for sure.
We'll get you
Mm,
there.
All right, let's do
It'll
it.
be fun.
Let's do
Yay.
it.
all
I'm
right.
down.
Good job, Sam. I had like a 10-step plan to get him there, but you
Good
know,
t- you guys are a good tag team. I will
Right,
submit.
right.
I feel a submission coming on.
I was
All
a
right.
little more detailed in my approach, but it's okay. We got,
No,
as long as we get to the end.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Thank you,
I'm
Sam.
with you guys. Thank you very much.
You can release me.
All right.
Thank you, Christy.
I will read.
Really, Jill? I thought we were wasting our, no, I didn't think we were wasting our time at all. You guys know that, getting spiritual workout out into the world is my number one desire and intention. So, and the fact that we have what we have here because of you guys is what makes it exciting and interesting and possible to do. In other words, what we were just talking about, creating, uh, content for on a particular platform for a particular audience, etc., uh, can't be done. There's no point in doing any of that if I don't have this for people to come to. So
Mm.
I so appreciate every single one of you for your presences here and your willingness and what you're doing and what it affords me as the business owner, as it were, uh, in terms of being able to share with people who are brand new. Well, what happens in spiritual workout world? What do people do there? And because of you guys, I have a whole range of responses and answers to that question. And that is 100% why it is of tremendous use and value for us to be here uh, to serve you in the ways that you need and want to be served, of course, first and foremost, and to grow this business. So thank you. Thank you, one and all. And I am always open. That's, my personal, uh, I think this work is best in response to people's issues, challenges, questions, and whatnot, right? I don't go knocking on people's doors like a door-to-door salesman. We don't have them anymore. And saying, hey, you need spiritual workout for all these reasons. It just doesn't work that way. But when I'm in the line at the supermarket and two people are bitching and moaning about their lives, I mean, that would be a TikTok right there. I'm standing in line. These people are talking about this. If they were in spiritual workout, this is how we'd be doing it. Bye. I mean, I can do that all fucking day. And I would love to.
Exactly.
And I've done it before, but I've never, ever, ever once had the experience of anything coming back from that. So
What
that
if you were
just
to set
is,
the intention, or like as if like the videos are sort of magnetic, that they reach the right people? Like maybe send out like an intention for the profile itself, of like it will be received by the right
oh,
people.
well, for sure. I mean, that's my ongoing intention. I just haven't realized it yet.
What about like a
The
specified, like
fact.
when you make it, like a specified one set on the page itself, like the account itself, like this is gonna bring the right people. This is gonna get movement.
Sure,
Like
I can do that.
intentions, right?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to convince me. Not at all. Not at all. All right, so we got a little time left. What do you guys want to talk about in terms of, and I appreciate what you're saying, Christy, also in terms of that being a particularly different platform. So yeah, anybody else want to come up and have a little chat today? Well, I don't hate anything. I just have bad experiences. Yeah, come on, you guys. Anybody want to come up and talk intentions in any way, shape, or form with our
Kristen.
remaining time? We want to continue to talk about marketing spiritual workout. That works for me. And what else we got? I'm
Oh, yeah.
really curious about people's intention setting practices. This is kind of my new, I'm feeling inspired to be more vocal, insistent. That's not a great word.
Mm.
Um, about this subject. I think that in terms of encouraging everybody here to truly have some kind of some uh, practice, some way of cultivating your intentions on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Thank you, Jill. You know, when people come here to the spiritual workout intention setting clinic and they are ostensibly in the process of cultivating an intention, and I say, well, where is it? What does it look like? What did we see? You know, and that person can't find it or uh, goes looking for it. I mean, that right there tells me a whole lot about what people are not doing, right? If you go through the effort of getting one or two or eight worksheets and writing draft after draft of an intention and getting it shiny and clear, and then you don't know where it is, that what are we doing? Right? So I am really just going to continue to turn up the volume on encouraging everyone here, anyone here, to have an intention setting practice within their spiritual workout practice. Jill says, I've been through so many iterations on this. Fantastic. That's how we get to create one. There's no one way to do it. That's why we talk about it here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, here's an idea. Here's an idea. And putting the puzzles together. Well, that doesn't work for me. Well, a piece of that works for me. And then I put these other pieces. That's how it should be. Several iterations until you find a place and a way and a system or whatever it is for the cultivation of these intentions. What is the point of planting a seed in the garden and then leaving town? Nobody does that, I don't think. Right? So that's sort of what sometimes seems to happen here. It's like, okay, well, here's my beautiful seed. I'm going to now plant it and have a nice life. Now, there's something to be said for that, right? If we're letting go of how and when, that's what we detach from. But we don't detach from the process of cultivating the intentions. We don't detach from becoming a magnet for what we want to be, do, have, create, see, experience, and all of that stuff. Yeah, Jill, why don't you come on up? We got 10 more minutes. I would love that conversation. Thank you. And hello, Bob. Welcome to the party. Bob was previously known in spiritual workout online world as our man.
Nice to meet you, Bob.
Unless I just blew your cover. Hey, Jill.
Hi, guys. Uh,
So,
I'm so glad you brought this up because I feel like I'm always working at this, getting consistent. And I'll just do a little big spill to start. Well, I'll say the iterations I've been through is a notepad where I've written them down, or pieces of paper, and then a notepad, and then a notebook, and then another notebook for just intentions, because I always end up like polluting it with other things, and my papers are all over the place, and as I write extra drafts, I like staple them together. I've tried numbering them, like, just I've tried writing the date on them every time I've reviewed them to, so like if I wrote it on January 3rd and then I reviewed it on January 8th, and then I don't review it again until January 30th. Like I did that like for accountability for myself to see that, like, hey, you haven't been with this for so long. So that share is just to let you know I've been like at this. Um, in my life, when I want to put something in, um, like kind of as the default operating system, I've always thought that ritual was the answer, like creating a ritual, and um, so that there's some sort of prescribed time that I do something on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
I've experimented with something called habit stacking. So, like, if I know that I do something every day, like make a cup of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
attach my intention practice to having my cup of coffee, because I know I'm going to have the cup of coffee. Can that get me to do it? And then the last thing I'll say, I appreciate that you're getting some ideas to writing some notes down, um, is that one of the things I've learned in my studies about the process of visualization, I think it's the same with intention. I think there's some overlap there, but is that one thing that blocks us from being with our intentions and or writing them and then being with them is that we're caught up in the how, even if we don't
Yes.
realize it. So
Yes.
when we're thinking, I want $1 million or I want to win the lottery, but I don't know how, that somehow deters us, consciously or unconsciously, from actually building out the intention.
Yes.
I'd be curious to get your take on that. And then what could we put in place? I guess I'm always looking for like the structure of a solution to deconstruct that concern about the how so that we
Well,
clear the path to intention.
yeah, I mean, that is the insight that you have, is what, frankly, from the seat that I sit in as a facilitator here, what happens all the time. This is why first somebody will say, I don't even know what I want. My response to the person who says, I don't know what I want, has been the same for 30 years. Do you have 10 minutes? And they say, well, yeah. And within 3 minutes, we find at least one, if not two or three things that they want, just starting. And what has prevented them from even putting it in the category of something they want are all the beliefs they have about how it can't happen. And you're exactly right. And then later, where it shows up, somebody who's been in spiritual workout for a while starts playing around with some worksheets and starts to actually put some words down. Will come to a Wednesday intention setting clinic and say, I'm just kind of stuck. I had it going for a minute there and then it's just kind of stuck. And what's going on with that person, Jill? It's exactly what you just said. They're stuck in the house. They didn't, unconsciously, not knowingly, not understanding whatever it is, but that's what has them quote unquote stuck. So you're 100% right that is where people get stuck. So of course that goes to belief. It's not possible. Law of attraction works for other people. It doesn't work for me. I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. All those things. So that's always going to be tremendously critical to one's cultivation of the intention, for sure. And then to answer your question about, as you were talking about that example of the $1 million and the best practice is you just jump to, we want to make it more complicated than it is. We jump to winning the lottery. Wow, my ticket won. I just found out I have $72 million coming to me. Oh my God, that's the intention. That's the desire. Start living in that place right now. If you have to build a ladder to get there, build a ladder to get there. That's what our, worksheet is for and whatever. But if you can just get there, just get there. That's fundamentally what we're doing. And then somebody says, well, what about, I'm supposed to just sit here and think that I have millions of dollars? Well, if that's what you want, yes. You think about whatever it is you want. And so iterating a practice, wow, if I write it down, I do this. And if I do blah, 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 if I add it to my coffee routine, I do that. That's fantastic. Anything that any of us can do, that's, again, why we're gathered here. What are other ideas? What are other people doing here? But fundamentally, it's about embodying the intention to the degree that we think and talk about it all the time. Let's be clear that as much as we effort, and it's the only thing that I really care how people do things. Most people in here are like, go do what you're going to do. But when it comes to intention setting, you all know, it's like, please get out a worksheet. Let's go through it. Let's get these mechanics down for your benefit, just so you know what to always keep in mind, whether you always use a worksheet or not. And so the worksheet is so critical, and getting it written down is so critical. But then let's face it, the words that we ultimately have are but guideposts. I can turn to one phrase in an intention that I've written out that has a whole paragraph, and I can spend an hour and a half magnifying and thinking of examples of that one phrase. This is what I'm talking about in terms of continuing to move down the continuum of embodiment. Again, there's no one way to do it. There are multitudes of ways, and there are infinite ways, because we are infinite and we are all unique people. And so it's whatever we need to do to get to the place where that thing that we looked at January 3rd, and then again on the 8th, and then again on the 30th, is not foreign, but normal, regular, organic, natural. Feel like I hijacked what you were saying.
No, you spoke right into it. When you lean back over to the thoughts that we're having that might prevent us, like, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough. I think one of the things that plays for me that I get to look at is like some idea of perfectionism or rightness. Like, is this did I get it this time? Is it the right, does it still need an edit? Do I need another draft? And I'm aware that that's one of the things that dissuades me a little bit. I think, like, I'm just looking to take the things away that are blocking me, because I know it works. I've had it work for me.
Yes.
And part of me doesn't understand why, if I know this works, why don't I do it consistently? Like, what is in the way of that? So, like, that's my personal inquiry, and I'm not giving up, because I've had a lot of success with it already.
Mhm.
And I also think, like, how much more success do I need to have to be able to, like, just make this a way of being, like an integral way of being.
Yes.
And with that said, there is a certain amount of installing the default that but it's not 100%. It's like some intentions, it feels like I can almost write them once and they're in,
Yeah.
because there's no resistance, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And then there's some that, like, I feel like I could write them 100 times and I can't.
So when you're dealing, you, me, or any of us are dealing with an intention like that, where there is some resistance, regardless of what it is or where it comes from, I think what is our friend in terms of getting it from where it is less this and more this, and just playing with it and practicing it. Because if you've already written a bunch of drafts and now you're at the point where, should I take the out here? Is that extraneous? Or then we're in the wrong place. We're way up here. It's never going to get solved here. It's not what the ego mind is about. It's not its job. It doesn't do that very well. It doesn't do that at all. So in order to bring it down and play around with it and decide, does something need to come out of this? Does something else have to come into it? Go more from here.
Mm.
And the only way to do that, Jill, is just to play around with it. And what would help you personally and your makeup and who you are to be less this and more this. You know, for me personally, it's just getting out on a trail, walking around, you know, I'm away from my desk. You know, I've got all kinds of other things to tend to that have nothing to do with work and business and all that kind of stuff, right? And it's just easier for me. This is one, you know, I'm happy to share my process too, to bring it down into, well, what does it feel like when I'm connected with a global audience? What would that be like? What is it like to have engagement like what we were talking about earlier that I've just never had? But I can imagine what it's like, and I can feel it, and while I'm out there. And then when I'm much more in that feeling place, I can assess, oh yeah, this is right. This has, how do I know? Because I'm excited. That's all, period, end of story. I don't need to think about one more thing. I'm excited by the words that I wrote here and what I'm doing with those words while I'm out and about and all of that. So I think for you how does that resonate as an idea in terms of
Yeah,
moving forward?
it feels like the perfect comment
Okay.
because I do tend to be here.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
when I'm
speak as one who
struggling with
lives here
something,
too,
yeah.
or has.
And for me, this 18-inch journey is the
Yes.
longest one in the world. And
Mhm.
so,
I think our friend Christiana knows a little bit about that too.
yes, but having the tool of, because having the tool of, finish that thought, following my inspiration is because I've built out, thanks to coming to these sessions, I've built out like for me, a concept of what that is, what that looks like, what
Yes.
that feels like now, which I didn't always
Yes.
have. So now I have that to go to and say, forget about the words. Can you get it right here? Or what words get it right here?
Yes.
So I appreciated even the thing about the taking the out because I've been there with mine. And
And
it sounds ridiculous now, but you know, I
I
was,
speak from a lot of personal experience in this regard.
yeah. I think like also my last takeaway, you know, we're at time is that this is the process. Like what I've gone through is the process. Like
Yes.
I started
Yes.
with worksheets and then I moved to a notepad and then I put sections on it. And then, you know, like, and then I went to a smaller notepad. And then I went to like a little, you know, I've just gone through so many iterations. And one that was really an interesting one was I used to have a to-do list till you talked me out of it, so to speak. And I started putting it as the number one thing on my to-do list, realizing that it's driving anything else. And that worked for a
Yes.
while. But yeah, so I think like I'm gonna give myself a little grace and invite everyone to do this, to just be in the process uh, of trying different things until you find something that works. And
Thank you.
the main thing is to just keep getting back up on the horse, you know,
Yes.
whether it's been
Yes.
three
Yes.
months, you literally have to dust it off, or you can't find it and you have to start again. Or if, you know, you're going for a record of X number of days in a row. I even once had the idea of partnering with someone in spiritual workout and scheduling 5 minutes a day where we call each other up and read one of our intentions to each other, just as a accountability thing, right? Like to get us going. Get on your donkey too, Gina. If it doesn't.
I think, Jill, that's fantastic. That idea that comes from us work. I mean, I love that. I would love if everybody had a buddy here and did some version of that. Fantastic. And that's yet another reason why we're doing it here. I wouldn't have thought of that on my own. And so this is another thing. You can continue that idea in the forum. I'm always going to be encouraging that. It's our fledgling forum for today. But that's a perfect place to meet and gather and throw those ideas out. Play around in there. You can call out certain people. Everybody in there has a quote unquote handle. So if you just type the @ sign and put @ like JI, your name will show up. Anyway, but I think that's a great idea. Again, you guys, this is just about, I'm so glad, Jill. Thank you for making it so I was not the only one having this conversation today, and for giving us examples of exactly what I'm talking about. We can't mess it up, people. This should not feel arduous. This should feel fun and interesting and exciting, because devoting some time every day, if you're fully aligned with your intentions, that's what we're checking in with. So you check in. If you're fully aligned, that was a minute and a half, you're done, go live your life. But this is for when it's checking in. Am I fully aligned with my intention right now? No, I'm not. Am I this far away from it? Am I this far away? It doesn't matter. Can I get closer to it? Can I get all the way aligned with it before I go and live my life and do my day? That's the idea here. And if it's a big honking one and we're kind of new at this, we're going to be like, well, I got from here to here today, and that's fine. There's no, we're just doing whatever we can do to further and further and further and further and further and further and further embody our intentions. Embodiment is the name of the game in phase 2 anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you again and again. All right, we'll let Jill go. Thank you again for this conversation. Thank you, Sam and Christy, for our previous conversations. And to everyone here, any ideas, thoughts you have about getting spiritual work out into the world, I fully welcome. I might bat it down, but I'd love to hear it. Thanks again, Jill. And thank you, Gina and Christiana and Bob and Alta and Sam. Anything else from me? Comments, questions? There is the famed link to today's to the forum for today's clinic. Within the hour, we should have the recording of the clinic in there. Gina, if you're still here, are you noticing that recordings are getting any difference? Gina being our resident replay queen. May or may not have a response. That's okay. You can just let me know anytime. And thank you, Sam, as always. Happy April, everybody. Haven't needed to check lately. All right. Well, there you go. So thank you, everybody. As always, we'll be back next week for our full complement of drop-in and clinics. And thank you, Gina. And unless anybody has any parting shots. Going once, going twice. All right. Okay. See you next week, everybody. Bye for now.